Yes, we're going right in the coup! Guest. First appearance for Andrew Halliday. Welcome to the Cooping Show, young man.
Thank you. Got the hardest job in Scottish football.
Hardest cop in Scottish football?
No. The softest, mate. We're a mile.
You need to be different today.
What do you think he's doing now in Cyprus? He's got 3/4 length trousers and a vest on, hasn't he?
Flip-flops.
28
red
degrees.
wine. Roasting hot red wine.
Nice wee day at the pool yesterday, probably.
Fair play to him though, it's a good gig, innit?
Aye.
I thought he'd patched us because that's 2 weeks in a row, and it was after he went to that wedding with Barry, and I thought, Barry's pulled him, man.
Have you spoke to him?
So I texted him saying, are you leaving us, mate? And he went, never, mate. So he's coming back.
What, Jink?
Barry's barred him, innit?
Jink if Barry told him not to do this, that Derek would listen to him?
I think he's a shite bag, mate.
No, I don't think so.
No chance.
For all his bravado, I think he's a shite bag.
so?
No chance.
He's the king of Scottish football now, he'd come back.
Who do you think genuinely would win in a fight? You know them both well, Barry or Derek.
I think Derek.
I think Barry would slap.
Derek's in practice every day. Derek practices every day. Derek just submit him.
Aye, Derek.
Imagine Barry punching you with a pom punch.
I'd love you to meet him, son.
Oh, you.
No, I mean Barry are tight.
No anymore, mate.
Live show in a week, lads. You're all involved, didn't you?
Don't know.
Aye.
You working?
Aye.
You're commentating on a game of Subbuteo, aren't you?
No.
You're doing punditry on a game of Subbuteo.
You're a mush fad.
You're the Scottish god at the Fours.
It's doubtful.
Oh, it's no great, is it?
Is it, mate? How?
Aye.
Us four talking about
Because
Scotland.
I was asked to work before I was asked to do the live show. So,
Who can we get to do it?
You need to talk
You'll need to
about
ask you, Pat Nerman.
You need to talk about that Spain game you played in. Again, mate, we're struck fad. You need to, do you know anybody in the Scotland era you played in you could get him on for us?
Gordon Jury.
Well, Big Gaz is on
Big
it.
Gaz,
He'll be
he's
brilliant.
texting me every day, he's buzzing for
I
it.
played
mate.
against him once for Scotland, so does that not count?
So what's that?
Popped it.
That's brilliant how it's ended up you two are sitting beside each other now.
Is it?
Don't know.
Who's that? Him or me? Definitely not me, mate.
Big Charlie, he's doing everything just now as well. He's turning into the Faddy, isn't he? Big Charlie, mate.
He'll know he's got 1 foot in the door now, isn't he? He's not doing it.
He's been in for a couple of sessions with Brendan, isn't he?
Couple of sessions, seen that.
See that?
I think he's
Same
doing a
with
wee
Sky
bit of
Sports
travelling.
News.
I think he's
He's
maybe
been doing
watching
it
some
Russell
teams.
Martin.
He done the Celtic game for Sky Sports News yesterday, did you see it?
No.
I can't believe it, Julie. Lazio scored.
What's he?
Oh, you know that? Has he done it as well?
I was too busy doing this in the living room.
He was playing fives with me yesterday, no, Big Charlie.
How was he?
Aye, he was good.
Is he?
Size 12 feet.
Did you like
How
that?
can he kick the ball the way he does with size 12s, man?
Yeah, man, I think it's
He's
that
so
whip
much
on it, doesn't he?
control.
I'm surprised he's that small for being size 12 feet.
That's strange. Because you need to go with that, didn't you?
What size of feet are you then?
Size 4. By the way, just before we go into the football leaderboard, it's one of the best I've ever
Well
seen.
done,
Mate,
Sonny, last
wow,
week.
incredible. Well done.
Well done. No, and for winning with the points, but last week, tremendous.
Mate, 17
Tremendous
points is
for you.
incredible, man.
And 5 out of 6 last
5
week.
out of 6. What was it? Hibs draw at home, I know. That was one that had been at full house.
Would that have been a full house?
Aberdeen was the big man, wasn't it? I got the Rangers to pick that. People thought again.
Put your big ginger balls on the table and go Aberdeen. I'm going to beat
People thought it was coming for a certain agenda.
It was, but you just get lucky, didn't you?
Just sheer knowledge.
What's been, is that your proudest result that you've called?
I think so. It is a hard one, innit? But to actually have that knowledge and look and game depth of the game, and pick that result out is unbelievable.
By the way, you carried it on into Monday's podcast. You were sensational
Wasn't it?
Monday.
What did you say? So the analysis of Luis Alberto, what did you think?
It
Very
was no after last night. I thought it was rubbish.
Did
Did you think he was rubbish, fan? Yeah.
I thought he was good, I know.
I'm only kidding.
I've already started my homework on Atletico.
Right.
It was he was good. It was not just that, just in general. Thought it was a top class performance for you.
That's brilliant for him.
He's back, isn't he?
No,
He's saying he's back. Let's give it another wee round of applause.
Brilliant, mate. What's your early thoughts on Atletico then?
By the Celtic will get a result for them. They are one of the poorest Spanish teams I've seen on the ball.
One of the thanks,
Is that him?
Sanchez.
Thanks very much.
They didn't look that hot. I'm buzzing.
So the Fadi and Sai are going to be in the wings.
Is it
For this
just
month.
the Buffalo one?
By the way, Kevin
Fadi.
Kyle, if you're sitting watching this with your pants when you're like taxis off the road, get the fucking
Alright.
Hoover done.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Wins text this.
Oh, how good.
Make sure
was
to
it?
Don't be doing nothing in that house.
Every
Aye.
guy watching that was going, fair play.
Donna and Murray's bins
Everybody
out.
agreed. Every
Back
time
in
we
there.
had something out, everybody went, aye.
All my mates
Don and
saying,
Murray's that garbage I
Aye,
have.
make sure you get the bins out of there.
Right, me and Faddy are eating it, one each.
Look forward to
cool
this.
down a wee bit. It's just right.
Do you know what, mate? They're poison.
Are they?
They didn't look bad, but I remember these. I've got a wee flashback. These will fucking blow the face off you, mate.
They'll be nothing as hot as the ones that me and Derek done, because nobody else has had them as hot.
I mean,
and you've been allowed to drink and all that. It's been a
fucking
shambles.
cheek to stick that on it.
I know, mate. Jesus.
I don't know why they do that.
That's not right.
Where's that came from? You dyed your hair green? Right, Paddy, let's
You're
go.
up a lip, you
Oh, I've got
Right, go on, Paddy, let's go, mate.
that.
So it's
You
like
don't need to hold that on, mate. I'll stick to that.
Right, mate, I'm shit. This is hot.
Is it?
It's fucking hot.
Not really what you're
In reference to
Yeah,
previous
mate, it's
ones.
fucking roasted.
That's an early go, isn't it?
Mate, they're rocket fuel.
Aye.
I can't eat that.
Mate, that's
I can't eat that and do the show.
What
Mate,
about
you're
a safe-
incredible with spice, aren't
You need to eat that.
What about that?
Unbelievable.
Mate, that's incredible, innit? I've only took one wee touch.
Get a wee YouTuber, come on. Get for the views, come on for the views.
No jokes, you know.
Sorry, mate.
Do we get it done?
Oh my god.
Mate, you're still, you're thumbing it. Brilliant.
Do you just want a drink?
They're roasting. Aye.
Oh
my God.
Sorry.
So in
better have to smoke that
comparison to the
for
ones you and
hottest.
Derek done, the hottest?
Aye. Oh my God.
Mate, they're fucking wild.
They're the hottest.
You're usually quite good with them as well.
Oh my god.
Somebody laughed out there.
It's horrendous.
Ridiculous.
You've got to be sat.
It's alright. I'm going to let me have a sip of them. Oh my God, smell them, mate. That's a fire
That's
extinguisher.
horrendous.
Right, lads, we're back on, but I don't know what the fuck's just happened.
I've never seen it like that.
No.
I feel like Amanda. I feel like young last night, mate.
You look like you've been
Man, dude.
stung by 1,000 wasps, didn't you?
Oh my god, mate, that was...
You got to went to war with your dad, mate.
Nah, nothing compares to that.
Was that the worst ever?
Mate, fuck, I don't know what the fuck's just happened in that toilet.
I mean, you actually ate the full wing out of the bone.
Is that not the rules?
Mate, oh my days.
Mate, what was that?
I smelt it
I
and
mean, him sniffed it when you two left.
I'm fucked.
That's the hottest thing I've ever
Had in my mouth.
You said it's the worst thing you've ever
It's like eating the iron, mate. My dad in the iron and she's like, eat it.
Aye.
said you're-
Donna and
A
Kevin's.
blowtorch.
Is that Donna and Kevin's iron you just said?
A blowtorch down your throat. Back of my throat was burning.
Oh my god.
I've done that stupid thing, touch my face, my full face is on fucking fire, man. Things you do for a fucking 50 quid a week, mate.
My god, you need to keep sucking that the whole show.
Don't football, mate.
That was
Right.
horrendous.
Time, Andy, I'll
Talk
come.
about football.
We have to, mate.
Right, you ready, Andy? I'll come to you first and let the boys get a wee breather.
Celtic Lazio, what
Yeah.
did you make of the game last night, mate?
Probably a similar story to what you said about Celtic recently, where the performance was there, but ultimately the result wasn't. I think going into the game we said they had to be ruthless in both boxes. I don't think they were. First half was a pretty even game. I thought Lazio got themselves into good areas, but final ball sort of let them down. Celtic pretty similar, but then second half I thought Celtic had complete control of the game. Couldn't even remotely envisage that Lazio were going to go up and get a winner, because you could see for 75 minutes onwards they were happy with the draw. Goalie was wasting time, they were taking 5, 6, 7 seconds every throw in, and then it just shows you the sort of quality of the Champions League, that some of these teams only need one opportunity, and obviously Lazio took it in the end.
The second half, Celtic had take care of the
Aye,
game.
dominant. I think that it's probably as comfortable as they've been in a game, with the control they had. Probably the difference, it is the same old story, and that they've played well, no get anything.
Yeah.
The difference, they didn't really create that much.
Yeah.
So last year it was missed chances and you're going off, the goals go in, then it's a different story. Last night it was about maybe no having the chances. I know the goal that was chopped off for offside, but apart from that, didn't
Yang
really
had
have.
the wings for pre-match. Did you drink?
You're just bringing people away, aren't you?
Drink the lack of chances, so I was just watching it. First time I've kind of seen them live this year. I wouldn't be able to fucking watch it now, but see when the ball goes
Open
to
your eyes when you're talking to us, it's put me off.
see when the ball went to the white players last year, mate, there was like movements and
He's a danger well to try to keep
Zoom in
talking.
on his face.
No, dinner, please, dinner, zoom in on me, please, mate.
You can't go too far, obviously, because he knows, but
It was basically just blow it. Mate, what's the size?
he needs a tissue, man. It's not
I need a
trying to do
bath
that.
cream, mate, a
doing
bath
that
and super
tash.
cream, man.
That is last slug now with all the slime on it, mate.
What an effort, I'll tell you that.
See, when it went to the wide play, there was no real movements. Remember last year the ball went to the wide player, 2-8s would run out of the channels. It was basically get the ball to the wide player and let him go and beat a man and see if he can produce a bit of magic there. Then Keogh goes 15 yards deeper first half and it goes to the wide man. Is that why they don't create as many chances?
I think it was just slower, a lot slower build-up in their play. I have to say the goal they scored was incredible. And that's what you can see what they're looking for, because of a wee spell where comfortable possession. I think they probably took Lazio by surprise a wee bit with how good they were in possession. And then a couple of forward passes, goal, and it was incredible. And I think that's maybe what they're looking for. You know, that passing and movement in that area, and they just couldn't do it. I think Lazio, you spoke about the boy Luis Alberto, gets taken off for Guendouzi, who's more a defensive minded midfielder. So I think they were looking, saying, listen, take a draw here. But as you said, shows you the difference. They get one chance and they take it towards the end. I'm in absolute turmoil.
Even the build up to Palmer's goal, I know it's disallowed, but
Great play, mate.
obviously it's built all the way for the back.
goal,
They work
yeah.
it side to side twice. I think it was something like 23 or 24 passes before the eventual goal, and it shows the quality Celtic have had. And you can't listen. People are hung on this sort of stat that they've not won a home game in a decade. They've still showed that they belong at the level. I think they still showed that they compete. You know, look at last year, your Shakhtar games, your Leipzig games, the first 60 minutes against Real Madrid. It's just that next level. And
how did you get that, Andy?
well, I think Celtic is a business. The way they've bought players, sold players, they're running the club well in terms of bringing in young, talented players, progressing them, selling them for money. Is that sort of argument that people had in the summer? Do they need to just go and
spend
sign
12
2,
million
3
quid?
big players and start 11 if
They'll
that's
not
what
buy
the
a 12
progression
million
is?
The wages, isn't it? They can't play the wages for these
It's
sort of
just,
players.
I think that it's a great model, and if you're doing that week by week in the league, you're going to get the benefit of a young player developing. But when you're talking about the Champions League, by the time that young player's got to the level that you need, he's sold. And you need to start again. So when you're getting in against these teams in the Champions League, you need difference makers straight away. You need guys that are ready right now to help the team, and that's the balance that they need to get.
But do they difference makers want to come to this level of football in Scotland?
Aye.
I think.
Well,
It's finding
I
the right
think
ones,
aye. I mean, ones that are, they're still a project as such. But they're more ready than, you know, like say Yang, who's come in and struggled a wee bit. But I think that it's tough. I agree with Andy again. I think the biggest thing, and people look at it and say, but ultimately it's still 2 defeats. What they've shown is they're definitely on par with your Lazios, Feyenoords, teams at that level. They're not going to catch the English teams or the big teams. They're not going to. That gap's too big. Yeah. They're never going to close that gap. And I'm not saying they can't beat them in one-off games. Of course they can, but I think they've shown in their 2 performances that they're still good enough against these teams to get wins. It's two games where you're saying wins.
Oh, thank I fucking had a heart attack.
It's 2 games where they could have. Last night could have and should have. Feyenoord's different because when you go down to 9 men, it's damage limitation. But they've shown they're at that level. But it is still two opportunities that they've missed.
What about standouts last night? I thought Scales was excellent, especially after the first 10 minutes gave the ball away a couple of times. But I mean, his bravery to play was
And the
excellent.
honesty to play forward. I thought he was the one in the back 4 that was actually, every time he got it, his first stop was forward, his first look was forward. Just even with 5-10 yard pops into Callum McGregor. It might look simple, but when you're on the pitch, some centre-halves still don't want to play the passes.
O'Reilly was brilliant.
O'Reilly was good, I thought.
I'll tell you, I was at the game, see the way that Lazio worked it down the left, looked for the diagonal, switched to Felipe Anderson.
Who was the worst player in the park by a mile?
It was,
Felipe
but
Anderson.
they never. It was like, right, this is how we're going to exploit Celtic's fullbacks coming in or going forward, and they just done it constantly. They just kept hitting it. So Greg Taylor had to make sure that he was close enough to Felipe Anderson, but obviously tucked in as you do as a fullback. But Kamada was making that run off the back of the midfield straight in between Taylor and Scales.
Yeah.
So the two of them had to deal with their own men plus the runner coming from midfield. So
he was cheating as well, Felipe Anderson, wasn't he? So many
was
times.
Kamada.
Any time that Celtic attacked down the left-hand side, he was cheating. But I said he was worse on the pitch because he's a winger, you've been a winger. Some of the positions that Lazio got him in last night, Felipe Anderson,
Incredible.
and just didn't take advantage of it once.
Chance in the second half where they're so overcommitted.
Aye.
It comes out.
He takes a touch inside.
But
and
he
he's
waits
left
for the
foot.
ball.
Aye.
Go and
was
meet
a
it.
pain.
Take your touch there and get your shot away, or even hit it first time.
Well, we were talking about him on the ball. See, positionally, Liam Scales last night. Positionally, it was very good.
It was great. It was great covering, Andy, wasn't it?
I'm absolutely
Brilliant, mate,
freezing.
aye.
Great cover.
Oh, it was brilliant at covering.
Recognising the danger, aye.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
And you can accept the couple of mistakes. He had like a couple of loose passes. You can accept that because it was passes.
Yeah.
It was the right pass.
Play.
It just wasn't.
Even
Just like a
even
ball.
faking to play the winger, mate, and there was a wee one inside to Taylor a couple of times that got him out the press. It was really good.
The damaging side, though, obviously the result now, the Europa League now looks tough to even get Europa League place. I know that it's only 2 games in.
4-3-1 is the points in it.
Yeah.
I said last night it was a must-win.
Or 4-3-3 is it?
4-3-3-0, yeah. No,
4-3-3-0.
4-4-3-0, yeah.
So they're 3 points behind.
Aye.
They're,
And they have to
they're
play
4
5 at
behind
home.
top. They've got Atletico Madrid double header next.
Do they need to win that game?
Aye.
I said it
The
was a
next one's
must-win.
at home.
I said it was a must-win in terms of getting out the group. Champions League knockout. But Rodgers has said it in press conference himself. The onus is to be in European football after December. That's still more than
They
achievable.
can still qualify at the
By
group.
the way, they could beat Lazio away.
Aye.
They could.
Because they're not a team that you would say they're going to go back and
Because
And I know it's two different teams, but they beat them 2019 Europa League, and
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. Because by the way, Celtic were good last night. They weren't at their best.
No.
Celtic weren't unbelievable
they were
last
still
night.
a wee bit wasteful. Still,
They've still got another gear going over there.
You would
Definitely.
expect to improve. The improvement they've made in the last 5 weeks, I think has been great, and they'll still improve again. They got in the few times last night where it was too precise, or it was coming up and it was getting laid off first time when it didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Or they were a chance to play it forward quicker and it was a 5-yard pass instead of maybe playing a 20-yard pass. They'll get better at that, so I expect them to be better. I think they can still
Are you
qualify.
surprised it didn't start with Palmer?
No.
No, it was a.
No after Feyenoord.
Oh, aye.
I know, but then he scores that goal at Motherwell. He's on a high. I didn't think Yang was great against Motherwell, was he?
But I do
I
think
didn't think
that.
Yang was that bad.
I never seen it. I just seen
No, he
comments
wasn't
saying
that bad.
Is he all right?
See, going into the game, I just think in Europe, Champions League, there's bigger spaces, more chance of counter attack. I always thought he was going to go for the pace of Yang.
Yeah.
Because Palmer, coming on in the game against Motherwell, it's a different game. Motherwell try to hold on to what they've got. They're deep, they're a low block, there's wee pockets of space, shift and shoot, shift and cross. He does look as if he's got a. He's a yard off
He's no
pace wise,
pace,
and he
yeah.
can
I thought he did well last night, though.
I thought he done well when he came on. Was there a need to take Phillips off and bring Carter Vickers on?
I mean, I was saying to you before the show, I think that's been sorted before, almost
I know,
European.
but surely you see the way the game's going and
I
think
know.
they're quite comfortable. Is there a need to make a
He's
change
not
like that?
played a lot of
centre-back?
football. So he's maybe...
He's back for what, 3 weeks? Surely he can play 90 minutes.
I've got a feeling though it's just been one. I think that happens nowadays with these sort of sports scientists, and you'll be playing an hour. I think that's been set before the game. I know what you mean.
That's crazy for me, mate.
Vickers, when was the last time he's played?
He's not played for months.
Aberdeen at home, second game of the season. And he was out for 4 months before that.
I don't think there's a need to make this up.
I think look, he must have felt that he was struggling, and it might have been one where look, it's not as if you're bringing on
No, shite, I know, but
you're bringing on your best
he
defender.
gives the ball away for the goal, didn't he?
Aye, but apart from that, he was brilliant when he came on.
No, I know, but they're the stakes you may make when you've been out for a month and you come into a Champions League game. No?
Come on, I think you're being a bit harsh.
Harsh on who?
Carter Vickers.
You're not going to go out. I think it's hard now to go out and with the budget and with the wages to go out and get a player, say 8 million to and
Aye,
it's
but
going
you've no Jota come in. Right, you've got this good young player. If you want to buy him at the end of his loan, it's 6 million, which tells you he's a decent player. You're bringing in younger players, and you're buying them, and people look. And if you bring another loan in, people say, "Well, you've just got 25 million for Jota. You need to buy a player." But you're getting a chance. Edward was the same. You're getting a chance to see what they're like before you buy them.
Carter Vickers
Carter
is the same
Vickers
as
the
well.
same, aye.
So Like it's a tough one. It's a hard balance because you go and spend 6 million a player, 7-8 million a player, and he doesn't work out. You go,
Is it like
what you
guys
spending
like
that amount of money on a player for?
In at the time, was he 5 million a jet, and I think he lost
Great point.
nothing for him. They got nothing for him in the end.
Barkas the same.
Barkas as well.
Guys like Johnson, you need to be looking at it.
He's
That sort of league that other big clubs didn't look at.
Like the thing is,
Aye.
the recruitment's been good.
Yeah.
It's no that you're not saying it's been poor recruitment. All you're saying is when you get into the Champions League, can you get 1 or 2 ready-made players? Not to say you're buying a Champions League level player, but just less of a work in progress, somebody that's further on in their development than, you know, guys that are a wee bit unknown. But that's got to be the criticism, isn't it? But I think it's not like this is a disgrace. It's just, can you bring in a couple of more experienced players to help?
And got your talk about recruitment as well. Going into the game, I always think when the big games come, Celtic know 10 starters are nailed. I think going into last night, obviously circumstances with the centre-half Carter Vickers and Liga Bielka, 10 are nailed going into last night. You're only really debating who's going to play that wide position.
Yeah.
And that's probably because none of them have really nailed the jersey yet, but everyone else has been trusted in the big games, they're producing the big games. And I think Palmer will probably get the chance over the next few games to sort of nail that position.
I slid my knees when Celtic scored.
What, in the living room?
The Palmer goal.
But see, on that recruitment thing, Rangers went and bought players for Feyenoord, Sampdoria, didn't you? Who you would think would be
That's what
very capable of coming out here playing big money, and they've not done it straight away. So
Aye. Well, that's it. That if you go and you're trying to, you know, just because you spent money on a player doesn't mean it's got to be good. It's just more further down the line to help. I think with Jota no being there, a player like Jota, who is like ready-made, one of the best players in the league, then you're bringing in somebody that's not quite at that level yet, then you're having to, as you say, that's the position that's up for grabs. You're then going into the game having to rely on almost an unknown, untested. Palmer's, I think Palmer comes into that bracket as well, because you're not really, there's nobody nailing that position then.
Also,
Whereas when Jota came in and nailed it straight away.
Young will be a player though.
What is he, 20, 21?
21, I think.
21.
Listen, I think so. He's got everything you need there.
Do you know what? He went through a wee spell in the first half of forcing it and trying to do the right thing. And he's trying to, for me, he's overthinking it.
Instead of just going and getting at people.
Instead of doing it.
Yeah.
A couple of times, sees a winger, frustrate the life at you because you go, he's lost the ball again. One thing he needs to do. One thing. Get by the man, get a cross in, people go, that's brilliant. Second half, he done it. Got inside, beat 3 men, get fouled, and you're thinking, that's what you're waiting for. That's what you're waiting for. And it's just overthinking it at times where you're forcing mistakes. I like Young. I think he's bright.
Good as well.
So definitely a player there.
But listen, the next game, don't be
freezing.
This is weird what's happening.
So didn't you try then the old lemon?
The lemon works, by the way. If anybody's burning with spice, the lemon works.
Get that in a cup.
But it makes you freezing. I don't know if it's a draft coming in here. I'm absolutely balky. Nobody else has got a draft.
By the way, talking about big games.
It is.
It was a bigger game.
Switch.
And it's been a bad week for Boca. The first team beat on the Twitch wee man. The wee Twitcher got beat.
I couldn't believe that.
What's happening at Boca?
Hey,
Is the place in turmoil?
Just point there, mate.
Get pain there in the room, mate.
What's going on at Boca?
I don't know what's happened yesterday. There's no, you're definitely one of the wee guys.
Secret gamer,
when the Wayne's go to sleep, PlayStation turned on.
Did you beat him?
And I was on a plate, he was Boca.
I'll tell you one thing.
Put some good stuff on, didn't you? Put some good
Some
stuff
decent stuff, mate.
He played like a coach. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
That's surprising that you ever picked up a control on your life.
I haven't. I done a point, mate. First time. First time, mate. And he changed my buttons.
That was brilliant. But I'll tell you one thing. That Twitch
Were you
is
still on
outstanding.
Pro Evo buttons like the old?
That's me. I play Pro Evo.
Oh, that was
You need to say something. You need to get on the Twitch because some of the comments that you get for people watching are incredible, man. Wait, somebody kept calling me Sammy Lee.
He's Sammy Lee.
Sammy Lee.
You're having a rematch today,
Sammy Lee's taller than you, mate.
Sammy Lee's a lost man.
What a guy, man. What a guy, man.
I thought he was like a mad joke figure.
No, he looks mental, but he's such a lovely guy.
Is he, huh? That'd be some
Mate, there's more pressure on that Twitch for 2 hours in the Hydro.
It's a sweat on it.
God, mate.
Just waiting to see the next
That wee
corner.
left corner where you see that wee pizza emoji, oh, for fuck's sake, no again. No again. And there's
What was
one.
it, Pluka Modric? That was fucking incredible, man.
That's a
The
crack.
worst thing is my seat's situated.
Sorry, mate.
No. It's all
not
party
bad.
and it's all bad. I don't mind all that. But it's just when you keep on seeing it coming up in that wee corner and you kid on, you can't see it. And you've been, mate, you're loved on the old
No,
Twitch,
there was a
haven't
good one. Slaney, dry your eyes with that mop that's sitting next to you. I seen that.
you? But you know what?
I had a guy saying that I walk about in the house with Jilly's leggings on. Ah, what?
How does he know?
You in my house? You got a camera in my house, you?
What was that using it? Roger Hanna 1, 2, 3 or something? That was him that wrote that, wasn't it?
But you know, and it's good when it's through a sort of comedy route and it's a good laugh. That's what it's all about, but don't be nasty about it. That's when it gets ruined. Do you know what I mean?
We didn't either, mind. I was getting battered as well. I was getting battered.
That's what they look like.
I know, but part and parcel just...
Who cares?
Came down
Do
here.
you ever do the PlayStation?
I don't play. I play Xbox.
Xbox, do you?
I used to play FIFA quite a bit with my boys.
All right,
but-
Victor, do you play the PlayStation?
Is that what it's called?
Aye. I actually play Call
So
of
you all that rap music or not?
I was in war yesterday, Faddy.
Were you?
He was at war, how you were good?
Finished
I don't really play Warzone though.
Do you know?
I
Nah, I used
think
to.
that's better.
I used to with my boy. I'm a hardcore
Are you?
one. Aye, just too many bullets when it's core and.
Aye.
I was
I want to see the rematch used to today.
Do you think it helps on the code that you've came from a military background? Seriously.
Have you seen
Got
my?
instinct.
You see my approach to it? It's dead smart, innit? Dead
I can't.
Aren't you?
Aye, I just lie down in the grass and crawl
Aye,
under bushes.
camper.
But people don't like that.
No,
People
they don't.
When they're what?
You done a shite in the bushes, didn't you?
Aye.
See how he plays? It's effectively a low block.
Aye.
That's how he plays God.
Davey Martindale,
No,
so they call it.
remember what did somebody call me yesterday?
That's right.
Somebody called me back. They just don't get it. They're just in there.
And you got a riot shield, didn't you? You just sit with a riot shield in the corner.
But aye, it definitely helps. But aye, we'll be back on the day. Back in the day. So
So I'll get tuned in.
Why do we get Faddy in for the game?
Quite a
we're
Warzone.
going back to the
Have you
office.
played
for
FIFA
this.
before?
Aye, fuck it. I've not played the new
Let's go
one.
and get 2 controllers and us 2 play used to.
2v2, aye, on the Twitch, that'd be good.
That'd be a dude.
Put your bank account for the 2 controllers.
No worries. How much you control?
I need an Xbox controller. I can't play PlayStation.
There you go. Best controls.
Right, we're
Oh,
going to
dear.
move on to Rangers. Michael Bean.
Bean. Mr. Bean. You're gonna get. There's a definitely a thread. Follow this disrespectful wee bastard.
Michael Bean.
Shouldn't you feel
The realisation. Michael Bean.
No, do you know what? There's a pause. I was like, I wonder if you've heard that or not. Time is up, Faddy, win it.
I think I seriously going through that.
No, mate, no.
Mr. Bean.
Oh man, I'd rather eat another wing than answer that after
Imagine you seen that, Michael Bean.
Was it another boy?
Hey, yeah, there's some more lemon, mate.
Nah, but honestly, I did think his time was up.
Definitely.
It was toxic when it at Ibrox the last few weeks.
It'd been very hard for him to
I
turn
think
it around, wouldn't it?
you knew it was difficult after, obviously, the week of PSV Celtic. They then won 3 games, 3 clean sheets, and the criticism never really stopped. Again, the performances within the three wins still weren't that great. Otherwise, maybe you could say the Livy game was quite convincing, but the other two certainly wasn't great performances. So I always think if you're a Rangers manager or a Rangers player, to be honest, I think when the fans really turn, it's very, very difficult to get it back.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I thought it was inevitable. You almost felt like Rangers literally had to win every game for now to the League Cup final, win the League Cup, to be any type of sort of change in the mood in the camp or in terms of the fans. So ultimately, he's obviously been sacked. And
The warning was there as early as the Kilmarnock game.
mate, as early as pre-season, if you ask me, because I thought I'd never seen so much criticism towards a team based on pre-season friendlies, 4 or 5 games. And it seems as if he was just fighting a losing battle for the get-go.
Why
And
do
then
you think that was,
Kilmarnock
Andy? Why
first
do you
game.
think the fans are like that early doors?
Well, I don't think the performances in the game are great, but as a friendly, sometimes you can, get a bit of leeway when it comes to pre-season friendlies. But I thought the 3, 4, 5 games, whatever it may be, they were tough watches, to be fair. Yeah. And then you say, it's only pre-season, but then you go into the first game against Kilmarnock, you lose. So
The recruitment was a big thing though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
That's absolutely killed him.
Would you say that is a key factor in why he got it wrong?
I think you look at last year when he came into the job and performances were better, results were good. they lost all the big games. So that was the criticism, right? You've lost the big games. He was quite bullish. He'd come out and say, don't judge me now, judge me when I've got my own players. He got his own players, and fans aren't stupid. They like watch the game in pre-season. You watch, look, as soon as a player comes into your club, right, what is he? How good is he? I don't think there's been...
No.
Jack Butland's been top signing.
He's been the only one that went out at the signings.
So you're looking at pre-season going, right, okay, you've got your own players now, we're judging you. And I know it doesn't normally happen, but you're wanting to see something that's going to tell you that you're going to, have a good season. The game at Kilmarnock, the constant chopping and changing of the team and the formation before games, in game, and results, ultimately results. If you're going to say, judge me when I've got my players, and at the earlier part of the season, that is a wee bit of leeway to say it's a rebuild. You need to give these players time. Lose the first game against Kilmarnock. The Celtic game for me was one where, right, the pressure is massively on now. Not only do you have to win, you need to win and win well. And they've won the games, but not well enough. So the fans are maybe looking at it saying, I thought at the time, right, you lose that Celtic game, go 4 points behind at that point, you've still got the cup to cling on to. But the fans are then looking, what's going to happen in between the next time they play Celtic? Once you get back to playing Celtic again, if you lose it, it's like you've wasted the time. As soon as that game, the Kilmarnock game was a big warning. As soon as they lost the Celtic game in the manner in which they did, I think the fans were thinking, right, listen, this isn't going to work out.
See, if performances were better though, I know I get the result, but see if performances were better, do you think he'd still be in a job?
I think so.
So do I, because you look at Ange at the start of last season, he lost, 3 his first?
7.
Worry about him as he was a long time though,
it's not the same as
No,
that.
I get that,
Everybody
but people were
says
saying then that Ange needs to win
but
games.
it's not the same.
But I do think
It's not the same.
I do
I
think
know
a lot of
he's in players
I
then.
do think
No,
a
he
lot
was
of it
only in
was
the
down to
job 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
He's been there for 10 months.
But I do think a lot of it was down to performances as well as results.
Definitely.
And I said at the time, there's so much excitement going into the season for Rangers fans because they thought, right, we've got rid of 9 players or whatever it was off the wage budget, we've got a budget to spend, we'll go and sign players. Mate, Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos, over the course of 5 years, were probably 2 of Rangers' best players for that. The last season, obviously, different.
Aye.
Alan McGregor and Scott Arfield were big parts of the squad, and 2 massive characters in the squad. Then you look at the previous season,
Davis as
Bassett,
well.
Aribo, Davis, Glenn Kamara, who had an impact at times. So you lost players, but players that were good at times.
Yeah.
No, not ultimately successful in terms of they won 4-5 trophies at the club, except for Davis and obviously McGregor. But you then going into the season where, you're going to sign all these players, but you have to get 80% of them right. No 1, no 2. You had to get them basically all right. And that's where I do think going in, you were worried straight away with the profile of the recruitment. I thought, signing no wingers in a squad and going into a season thinking, right, we're going to play this narrow formation and realising after 4 games this isn't working with white players. So then go to white players, and the only white players they had in the squad was Matondo, who last year looked as if he was done. Scott Wright, who was on a plane to Turkey 2 months ago, and maybe Sima, who could probably play there. No, but it was on Sky Sports News, wasn't it? Like, I've loved my time here. So it was like, put all his eggs into one basket, this is the way we're going to play. And ultimately, because the recruitment at this point in time, you can say has not really worked, they then had to change and they couldn't.
Is it crazy they gave him that sort of, but for him to sign all the players himself, him in charge of the recruitment though?
When he was so inexperienced as a manager.
It is, but it's a modern coach manager now.
No, but do you think modern managers do that though?
But I mean, they can present to you everything that's good, and it looks amazing. And he's obviously convinced the board for before, obviously Gio was sacked, that he was the man to take the job. And then they've believed him. So if you're going to give them, the other way to look at it is, I think they should have had somebody in to help him. No doubt, and that's no with hindsight. If you've got a guy,
Ross Wilson type.
If you've got a guy that's never managed before, and I know that he's done a lot before in terms of organising the structure of training, the days off, and taking a real leading role in that. But he was allowed to do that by the manager, so that was his job. And the manager would, you'd be in with recruitment and say, "We're looking at this player, looking at that player. What do you think?" obviously you've got an input in it, but you're not in charge of it, and you're not the guy that makes the final decision. He came in and managed at QPR for a couple of months, started well, finished poorly, gets a Rangers job. He's never been a manager for long enough. Coaching and management, as you know, is two different things, like totally different, and it's hard to get the balance. The manager has to be a top delegator, and he has to understand where the priorities are, where your delegation. When Steven Gerrard was a manager, people will say he never managed before, how do they know? I always remember when he brought Michael Beale as his assistant, says he's going to take training because he's a better coach than me. I know that I can't do what he does, so he's going to do that, right? So that's his job. He'll deal with, setting the standards. He spoke about standards, demands, stuff not being good enough in the training ground. The approach isn't good enough. That was led by a guy that you look at and go, I'm going to listen to you because you have lived an elite mentality your whole life. I'm going to listen to you because I believe you straight away.
And I'm going to listen to the coach more because of who you are.
The coach is good, and you look at a coach, go, what makes him a good coach? They enjoy training. That's what makes you a good coach. But on that point as well, no players improved. I wouldn't say any players get any better.
This season?
Even last season.
No, I think your two main positives last season were Raskin and Campbell.
But he brought them in. But the players that were there, usually you look at a coach manager, all right, tactics and whatever. Have you made any players better? I don't think you made any players better.
I think Rangers' priority right now is a director of football. Yeah. I think that should get sorted before a manager will. I don't think it will, but I think that should be the priority.
Do you know you're almost writing the season off then? No. By doing that, but by prioritising it now, I think they need to get somebody in. I agree with you. To get the structure right, you have to do it. So either you go a short-term manager with experience that's won or has a body of work behind him to say he's good, and then work on getting your director of football. Or do you go, I'm going to go director of football, we're going to... Because Stephen Davis has got that respect, and Alec Ray's coached for a long time, but they're no long-term answers.
Well, the reason I think it's a priority is Rangers are now in a position of what if they get a manager in, right, and the manager is, I want to be 4-3-3, wingers high and wide. What are the 8 number 10s that Rangers have got then now? What they doing? And I think if you've got a director of football, that is the continuation between managers leaving the club. The style remains. You still look for a manager that fits the type of players you've got. Yeah, you give him a budget to go and add to that and bring in quality in the summer, but there's no this just constant chopping and changing. Now, if a guy comes in and wants to play 4-3-3, right, we need to sell 6 of the 8 10s we just signed in the summer, and it's just this constant influx of new players and players coming in and coming away. So, I mean, again, like I said, we're talking about getting it right. Dessers was 29-year-old. Where's the selling value for him? If he's signed a 4-year deal, if he doesn't work, you're probably losing for nothing when he's 33, or maybe a cut price deal in two years or something after two. Yeah. So I think if you've got a director of football, I think stuff like that shouldn't happen. They might, but they shouldn't. And I think it's easier to then transition between managers when they come or go. So I don't think they will though. I think they will hire a manager before that.
Would put managers off taking the job?
No.
Would they look at it and go, I can't be successful with that group of players?
I don't think so, no.
But if it is somebody that does like to play a 4-3-3...
I know, but I still think as well, we've said it before, the clubs are a pull in itself. The tradition, the history of the clubs are a pull in itself. And I think, at the same time as well, you've got to think the manager coming in has got a big opportunity to win the first piece of silverware of the year. Because ultimately they're the favourites with Celtic in the competition. The squad might not be in the perfect position just now, but I think any manager's going to back thurself, isn't they, and come in.
I don't know. I think it does have an impact on what you've just said. 29-year-old Dessers, how are you going to get the money back for it? The squad in itself probably isn't a huge issue. What are they going to do to fix it is going to be the issue. Get to January, are they going to have money to spend? Are they going to have, a chance to get their own players in? Or is it you need to bring somebody in that has to work with what they've got, try and pick up a few gems, bargains in January, and then do the rebuild in the summer? I think that would put people off. Any manager that's got, any kind of experience of winning and being at the level that people expect a Rangers manager will want money to spend. Do they have that ability to have a huge turnover of players again? Is there any assets there for them to go and sell to raise money? That I think it could put people off.
Big Sam, what about Big Sam at the end of the season?
Oh no, he can't butcher another club. The big man, he can't. That's harsh, isn't it? Big Sam's actually.
He's been England manager, mate.
I know, but just there was somebody maybe says better to come in at Leeds and says better than Pep. Just stuff like I don't think Rangers fans need to hear all that nonsense. See with this decision, do you think they need to take their time with this decision?
Well, they need to get it right. So if they're sure that it's going to be right, sometimes that does need time. You see, there's already sort of 4 or 5 candidates that have almost been confirmed. I think the Alkmaar boss.
He'd be your number one, the Alkmaar boss.
I think he kind of spoke last night saying it's no true. So.
I think you're right though with the director of football. I think that a lot of Scottish clubs it is you're looking at the next, like the manager that's in charge, right? What do you want? There, have it. When they plan what's happening after it. I think it should be led by the club about, that recruitment, bringing in no wingers, which means you can't change it, and so many similar type players. I think that's a good point.
And probably three,
maybe plan ahead.
Probably 3 of your highest paid players are the strikers as well.
Yeah.
So a new guy comes in and plays one up front.
And Ruth's still the best
most
striker.
people do there.
So it's interesting. You look at the candidates as well.
Who would stand out to you, candidate wise?
Muscat seems to be one I'm hearing a lot.
I'm hearing Lampard a lot, Muscat a lot. I don't know.
Do you know much about the Preston guy?
There's no guarantee.
Brian Law played against him, good
Done
player,
well at Plymouth.
Nah, he has done well.
Has he done well at Plymouth?
Do you know who I'd be? Do you know what I'd be trying to get? If you could, Kieran McKenna.
Kieran McKenna. I said that last night. You'd be my one as well. Yeah. I just think if I'm looking at that, I would just want an attacking brand of football. Yeah. Because like I said, I don't think there's any guarantee that anyone's going to come in and give you instant success. So what's the next best thing? That you're enjoying the football you're watching. You can see a plan there, you can see development there. So I think he would guarantee you that for what you've seen so far. Obviously winning League One with Ipswich last year, top of the Championship just now.
And he's worked with big personalities at Man United as well. He's had that experience, isn't he?
And so whether that is the route they go down, I'm not too sure. But there's no sort of guarantee, is there?
Waits.
I think
he'll get a big job. He'll get a big job.
Manager for
2 years.
Amari didn't. He's not Irish, isn't he? Would he be a Rangers fan?
No idea.
Somebody asked somebody.
But he's only been a manager for 2 years?
Yeah.
Is that enough to get the Rangers?
But he's won some. He's won some in there. I know it's only League One, but they're good and they're top of the Championship.
By the way, I know that as people look at, can you cope with the pressure as well? Ipswich are a massive club with huge expectation, and he's went in and dealt with that. I think that he for me, would be a standout, but I think that he could get Ipswich into the Premier League.
Yeah.
But they've not been in it for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, I think Bale left QPR on. I know they were 6 and Ipswich, but he left QPR for the Luro Rangers, didn't he?
Aye, but that's But
I think if he was offered to do it again, he would do it again.
He would stay at QPR?
No, I think he would still go to Rangers again. I don't think it will be something he regrets.
I'm not saying that it's outrageous. I just think that he will have. He's got his team. He will believe he can get them up.
He's making
and if he gets them up, he could be the next.
He's making a lot of noise down there, isn't he? I think he knows himself. Like, I've got a chance to have a big job in England here if I keep doing what I'm doing at Ipswich. And
I know,
again,
my nostrils on fire.
I don't think.
What's that still?
Aye.
I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it would be achievable.
The last manager had only managed 10 games.
That's mad.
12, 15, whatever he
was.
It's mental though, but I'm sure a lot of people are saying that now. But at the time, I'm sure a lot of people were buzzing when Bill came in. And I'll tell you the one guy, if you go back to the archives, if you listen to this guy here, he's very critical of the decision.
Were you, mate?
Very critical of the decision. Stood up for Van Bronckhorst. Slaughtered.
No, you're right, you did.
Slaughtered away our social media for it. But look, who's the big man now?
You, mate.
That's why you're number one.
Every week, every day, you're the big man. You need to keep telling yourself that.
You're wanting Gordon Smith as the director of football again?
Aye.
Get in, look in the mirror, I'm the big man today. You need to do it, mate.
No, but you can do that, but then you look down there and
you... Too many whiteys in the face for that. I'll tell you, what a start for Davis' first game in at St Mirren away, my God.
I want to say this, Steve Davis. It's just something, even like your Celtic side, there's just something about Steve Davis that you like, isn't there?
Aye, 100%.
He just seems like a good guy.
He's got a game
Top
tonight.
man, aye.
Punditries went downhill. Quick. Handbrakes came off quick.
Slide right under the table.
I'm the man.
I think it will be interesting to see his first team lineup that he picks.
Can't wait.
Oh,
What do you think? What style would you expect Steve Davis to play?
I don't think it will be a narrow 4-3-3.
no.
Whether-
There'll be width in it.
I think there'll be with it. But again, that's what we're talking about. Like, who is it?
Well,
You know what I mean?
he's obviously, you can't go solely on it. A lot of success with playing for Northern Ireland with Michael O'Neill's back 3-5-2. Would it maybe
Potentially.
suit?
I think
I
it's
actually think with the personnel in the squad available right
Aye.
now, that is probably your best 11 on the pitch.
Great shot. Who'd that be? Suter, Davis and Goulton at the back?
Aye.
And then you've got the boy Sterling as well that could play in there.
Yeah.
Aye.
Barisic,
I think
Ridvan and
you-
then Tavernier.
You'd maybe get more out of Tavernier playing.
Yeah, wing
3-5-2.
back.
And if you've no wingers,
Aye.
then
I think it suits the squad they've got.
it's just what's your front two. Obviously, he's not back, is he?
So it's going to be probably
think he
Seaman
trained,
Roof,
didn't
I'd
he, no?
imagine.
Seaman.
Did
Is
he
Ruff
really
fit?
train?
Aye. Travelled. Aye. Raskin's travelled. He's back fit. So
So midfield three, Raskin, Lundstrom and Cantwell. Oh, Cantwell's injured, didn't
maybe
he?
Ryan Jack. He plays quite a lot when it comes to the European games, doesn't he?
Mate, it's crazy that they've not actually tried that, because when you actually sit and think about the personnel, it would suit them much more than that narrow 4-3-3.
Well, I think there's been a lot of criticism for Rangers fans of playing two natural defensive midfielders in the league.
Aye.
So I think if you're then going to a three at the back,
Aye, but-
it's going to be. No, I agree with you. I think if you're getting your best team on the pitch, it probably is a 3-5-2 then. But
If you're like
Got 8 centre
3-5-2
forwards
was defence, but if you've got Suter on the right, Goals in the middle, Davis on the left, and they're stepping in,
Run, yeah.
and
Aye.
you've got Tavernier and Barisic that can actually play
Go play- yeah.
wingers than wing backs.
Aye,
and
I
you've got
agree
them
with you,
to go and
but
cover.
in the midfield three, who is that box? Who's that guy that's getting in the box all the time in the midfield three they've got
Could
available? Because
Raskin not do
Lundstrom,
that?
no,
Yeah.
he's not done it since his game.
No,
That's
but
not been his game, is it?
I think
I think
he's
Lawrence-
good in that.
I think
more
Lawrence,
advanced
Cantwell,
position.
that's your two really, and obviously two of them aren't fit now. So if it is Lundstrom, Jack and Raskin,
I think Raskin can do it.
Yeah.
I think at times he's been one of the defensive ones, so he's had to do it. But when he's been freed a wee bit to go, he's looked really good driving forwards, got an eye for a pass. I think Raskin could do it. I think that's what you're looking at when you go into a job, or if manager loses his job. What's going to be different? Something has to be
I
different.
think it's going to be interesting
great
because he's going to
shout,
want to put his own stamp on it in terms of what he's seen for the players. Will probably speak a lot in terms of the actual players he picks tonight.
By the way, they've scored a lot of goals
I've seen
in the
that,
Champions
aye.
League qualifiers. I think 6-2 against Borisov and a 6-2 against Bratislava.
He said that they've having watched them, they've got a lot of pace in the team. So
But mate, I'm resting Peter for St Mirren away Saturday, mate.
Are you?
No, I'm only joking, but St Mirren Saturday
Oh
is
my
fucking...
that's going to be a tough
Well,
game. aye,
that'll be
100%.
another reason where he might go a back three and match St Mirren up. I know they're a 3-4-3 these days, but I think there has to be a change for Rangers, and that's going to be aye.
I wouldn't be
Steve
surprised.
Davis as a manager, Andy, having worked with him.
Aye, I think so. Mate, do you know what? He's quiet, but Kyle Affey actually said it, and I never thought I'd say I agree with that guy with some of the shouts he's got. But when he speaks, it's got meaning. Do you know what I mean? Everybody listens to what he's got to say, and it's true. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. He's somebody obviously commands a lot of respect. The career he's had, the type of guy he is, more importantly as well. So I think he'll definitely get a tune at the players. To be honest, you need to, because they can't afford to drop any more points.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if there is an uplift
brilliant.
for the players, because I think the criticism of Michael Bean was that the criticism of Michael Beale was that he talked a lot, and the fans were getting fed up with what he was saying, and a lot of the time for me, what he was saying about the games didn't match what we were all watching. Be interesting to see if there's like an improvement in the players' performance since he's left. Were they maybe getting fed up with the message as well?
You can imagine we'd be able to be a meeting every day, like.
I think
Three meetings a day, mate.
I think
Three meetings a day.
that's modern day football, mate. I think every club's a meeting a day. So
Do you like that?
Oh, mate, my stomach is just... I'm spinning in my stomach.
My nostrils on fire.
Is it still?
I need my stomach pumped, mate.
Is it?
he's looked better now, to be fair.
Oh, I feel
No,
a
but
million times
I think it's
better, mate.
the
That
arse
was-
that's going to suffer next.
Aye, that was the worst thing I've ever ate. The worst.
What are you raging?
No.
I'd have been.
I would have been
Do
raging.
you know when you're actually like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life? That
No,
feeling.
not as much rage as when you're eating the hot ones and then you watch other people with like lemon and lime mango and lime wings, and they can drink and have their ice cream and that in between rounds.
No
raging is
shocking, man.
Come for the top, didn't it? Guys,
Well,
the show.
that's it. That's it.
Aye.
No pointing
I
any
know what
fingers,
it's
but they two are there.
When you watched the Beckham?
No.
Brilliant.
Not watched it yet.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Aye.
Tell you what, I'm looking forward to it though, because
Amazing.
he's a man, isn't he?
I'm not going to watch.
Did you play against her?
Don't know.
Yeah, my stomach's fucked here. That's like ambulance for me, but
Do you mean that's right?
no, it's my stomach. It's actual in agony now.
Imagine how much damage it's done to your stomach with just what it done to your mouth. My throat was on fire. Honestly.
That's the fear.
Do you know what? Usually I take a bit of joy if the two are in pain, but I was really feeling
You
for
were worried. I like that. You were really worried.
Just you go on, mate.
Right, Andy boy.
Edinburgh derby, mate.
Wow. Tell us a wee bit of insight, please.
Of
I
the
saw
game.
that, aye.
But Edinburgh derby.
Nostril be on fire.
I think going into
That
it, I
stomach's fucking killing me, but
think
Just leave us to you, Steve.
I think our record in the Edinburgh derby obviously over the last 3 seasons has been pretty good, but I think going into this, I don't really think there's an overwhelming favourite. Hibs have picked up 5 points in 3 games under Montgomery. We've watched a fair bit of them this year. They definitely have a different style to what they did under Lee Johnson. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think it always is. I mean, you know what it's like when it comes to derbies. Sometimes even when it's not the highest of quality, there's that much riding on it. There's that much emotion involved in it. It's going to be a good spectacle.
A good sceptical.
So
I need to go to the toilet.
I think it's a big game for both teams.
Sorry, boys.
Being at home.
My stomach is in agony, man.
Fucking hell, it's shipwreck.
Being at home, obviously, it's huge for us to go and try and win, but I cannot believe his face, mate.
Make sure his mic's ultra turned up.
No, aye. Keep his mic on when we're talking.
He'll be talking to himself. Oh man, that's terrible. Oh.
But what's your thoughts? Give me yours. Because you've been heavily backing against Hearts every week.
I know. I don't
And
know.
I'm not liking it.
No,
So what
I
do you
don't
think
know.
for the
I don't
weekend?
know why I've done that. But Big Kev has always said that he feels that Hearts have got something at Hibs.
They have had.
Well, we've got a good record against them. Obviously, last year they won the second last derby of the season, then going into the last game of the season was obviously a draw. Usually, the thing is as well, I always feel like form goes out the window when it comes to a derby.
Right.
Obviously, the records don't suggest that, but you always feel as if it's like a cup tie, and it's that one-off game where you're going into it, you could be
You
on
always get that as well. Like brought up the record, so
Aye.
it does become a cup tie. But you're not going to say it because it looks daft before you go into a game. Hearts have the mental edge to say, know that we win this, so we're going to win it. But their confidence is higher. Hibs have been the pressure's on to win the games because they don't do well on them, and it can have a difference. I think this one is different. I think that Montgomery will be different and he'll have a different approach to the game in terms of the mental side of it. And I think the players will take that on board. So I do think it will be different. But these games, they're hard to call because you just don't know.
How do you see Hibs going about it? Do you think they're going to come right out and go for it?
I think when you play in a derby game against a team that are close, like similar in terms of level, you have to go for it. You have to play to your strengths. Hibs have obviously got pace, and they want to be a team that go and score goals. Hearts are the same. They want to be a team that go and score goals and win games by being attacking. So I think when you play in a game like this, the moment that you set up defensively, you're, for me, conceding that who you're playing against is a better team than you. So I think they will go and they will try and.
I think as well, if you look at Hibs, all their best players are in the attacking areas as well. So if you're going to play to their strength or your team's strength, you're going to go out and try and win the game. And I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be two teams that are going to go out and attack and try and win the game. So I fully expect it to be a good game. They're brave in possession under Nick Montgomery. They play 4-4-2. We're talking about Felipe Anderson cheating. At times Boyle and Yuan cheat, but they cheat at the right times. And it's that transition. As soon as they win the ball back, they know exactly where they're looking for. It's that sort of opposite wide player.
You need to do that though as a wide man, and I don't mind that because a lot of watching a lot of youth football and boys coming through, they're so disciplined to their position that they're like, I need to make sure that I'm marking this guy. Whereas if you go and play off the other side of him and make him think,
think of you.
Like, especially if Martin Boyle's got a head start on you, straight away you're going, oh, I need to go back. So you're cheating, obviously a term in football, you're making the defender think about you. If you sit in front of him, you're obviously still going to be worried, and you're going to have that, if he gets the ball, it's knocked in behind, I can't get too tight, but I can give myself, 5 yards where if it goes into feet, I can nick it. If it goes in behind, I've got a restart. So you're making the defender straight away think. When you play the other side, he's like,
point that, mate.
Oh, I need to get back and be in position.
You'll know better than me. Obviously, I was a winger when I was younger, and when I went to Middlesbrough, I always remember one of the first games I played was against Burnley, and Kieran Trippier was a right back. And Moby's instruction before the game was, he's our most dangerous creator. He's probably the most dangerous player going forward. Track him, stop crosses. That was it. And then at half time, I'm coming in like, I've defended for 45 minutes because all I'm doing is tracking him back, and I'm not causing him any problems the other way, because every time we lose it, I'm at the left back position. By the time I got up the pitch, we've either lost it or it's not really getting done that side. And it's like he says, if it just is that case where, right, maybe 1 or 2 times we actually just give that up, and then I'll stay up the pitch and he can worry about me when we lose the ball, because now he's the one that's got to get back. But it's cat and mouse of football, isn't it?
It's getting it right.
Because that one time you might think, do you know what, I'm going to leave him. He whips one in and somebody knows it at the top corner, thinking, brilliant, that's me getting slaughtered at half time.
That's it, and that's part of football.
Well, Felipe Anderson last night, we said, they'd done that. There was 2-3 times where they could have punished that by him cheating. 100%. They got him down that side. He's got it looked as if he had to feed him at Celtic Park a couple of times.
But that was their tactic.
Celtic done well enough to sort of neutralise that, whether it was skills sort of covering that area. I think they will. They've done it in 3 games, so like you say, are they going to change it?
But keep them up.
But it's doing it at the right times. It's like,
not just
I always think,
stoning there.
I always think if ball side winger gets back and sort of helps you, and the opposite one cheats, you'll get away with that more often than not, to be honest. And then as soon as the ball sort of breaks and the counter attack, we know that we've got the other guy free on the other side. So
that if you're, particularly with Boyle, not so much you, and I know he's got pace, but Boyle's, I think, clearly a better player. Boyle will have it where he knows how far to go to try and draw the fullback, but in an area where he can recover if he needs to. So I think you have to do that. I think it's something that is missing with players playing.
Another derby on the telly, man.
You're joking.
I don't pick the games, mate.
No, any chance.
We need. I said it the other day with the Motherwell game, mate. We need. Paddy, you especially on the TV, did an analysis, mate. Just like
I'm just happy when I get the call that I'm doing the game, mate.
I know, mate.
Listen, I've got you down for this game.
I think with you look in England now, the budget is obviously fucking massive down there, but I just think for our game, try do something, mate.
Aye. Well,
especially that Motherwell game, mate. I was actually buzzing after the game, and
I think that I agree. I think the games, should be on. I think there's something about how many home games you can show. And that's part of the deal stipulation by the club, because they want fans through the gate. So it's not all on the TV deal.
I think last season when we played on one, the one I scored in, it was the first 3 o'clock Edinburgh derby in about 20 years. Since then I think we've had 4. There was 2 last year. That one, and then obviously this one at the weekend. So disappointing. See, even when I was growing up, I still would watch it. The Hearts and derbies are always some brilliant games. I still remember the 5 each, and Riordan scores a penalty and the fans run on the pitch. So you still have these memories of the game because they're big games and there's a lot riding on them.
So you supported Hibs when you were younger?
No, absolutely not.
So the good Hibs one, do you remember?
No, I just remember that specific incident.
Is the atmosphere brilliant, Andy?
Brilliant, really good, really good. I knew that going into it. I actually went to one to watch.
Scotty Allen?
In the Hibs end?
No, it was Rangers. See when Rangers get beat. Rangers played Motherwell at Fir Park, and I was at that game with my agent, and my agent had the boy. I can't remember his name. You'll remember him. He scored in the last minute for Hibs. It was his debut for Hibs, and he scored in the last minute at Tynecastle. I think it was the equaliser to win the game, and I went straight to the game with my agent to watch it. And that was the first time I went to the game. I was at the Hearts. But what was the boy's name?
All the good Hibs wins, you remember?
No, what was his name?
Crawford or something? Caldwell. He scored in the last minute.
Do you have his top one?
I was
called out on the back of your slip.
I can't really ask this, but it's massive for Naismith, this one, isn't it?
They're always there.
I know it's for everybody, but particularly him, I think, sort of with the start of the season they've had.
Aye, but that's the challenge and the pressure of being manager at Hearts, Hibs. You're judged on obviously your league finish. Can you go and win a cup, but beat Hibs, beat Hearts? That's what you need. I think that. I know there's probably not been much different, and I know Andy can't talk too much about it, but just the fact that Naismith, we're no talking about the dynamic between the management team. It's Stephen Naismith in charge. I think it helps. I know that day to day it probably hasn't changed, but it helps just how it looks. Right, he's in charge. This is his team. There's one message coming out. You're not having the awkward interviews that they had at the time where I pick a team. No, I pick a team, and no, it's a collective. That's all gone now, and nobody's talking about it anymore, apart from me, now. But I think it helps with just how they got on with their job. There's no looking at European game needs to change because of the rules for UEFA, and they can just concentrate on their job. And I think it makes a difference because that's gone now. There's no energy spent on it. Steve Naismith's in charge, and he can lead probably a wee bit different.
Talking that bit.
Aye, so it's a distraction you don't need, and constant having to play this game that. No, honestly, it's not me. It's
a lot of noise,
like all that stuff. So it is a huge game, and it's one where when you lose, it's devastating because you're expected to beat them, especially for Hearts being at home. Then there's big pressure on them, but it's a different Hibs are playing in this game. So I know you're probably getting that if he loses, then he's got a chance of losing his job, but I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't. Just keep on to sort of the derby matches. Was the Merseyside derby unbelievable?
How many did you play in, Faddy? Must have been a few.
I actually don't remember.
No.
Don't remember.
Did you win many?
No.
Because the record, Everton's record wasn't great, was it?
No, we didn't win many. One...
Was it Lee Carsley one?
Lee Carsley scored. Andy Johnson got a double. They won 3-0. I don't think it was many more.
Who were you up against mostly? Or did it change?
I can't remember.
Can't remember, mate.
Arbeloa maybe.
One of the games I played at Anfield, I was up front. I don't know who might have been Skittle. Carragher maybe. Home games. I can't remember.
See
brilliant.
See for Liverpool fans down there, is that perceived as the derby or is it Man U? Because it's kind of split with that, isn't it?
Aye, look, it's a derby game, but they hate Man U.
Aye.
They hate Scousers hate Manx. That's and they hate each other. So it is a rivalry, obviously, because of the trophy situation, which. It's not going to happen for a while now with Man United by the looks of it, but there's more hatred in it. The Merseyside derby's one where day to day there's like banter. It changes the week leading up to a game. You come in on Monday, all the staff are all Everton fans, tattoos, every one of them's got a tattoo, Everton badge on them. Totally change. You feel the tension, the nerves, and they're like start on a Monday. Right, come on. And it does change, and there is gets labelled as friendly derby. It's anything but friendly. It's not a friendly derby. Both teams obviously desperate to win. Liverpool have had the most success, but the atmosphere's incredible. You will get the odd one where an away fan will be in the home and there'll no be trouble. But there is a definite difference the week leading up to Derby Day.
That's one thing I'd love to go to, loads of different derbies, experience the derbies in Poland, Boca River. I know it's a bit more unachievable, but I actually went to a Liverpool Man U one at Old Trafford, and the atmosphere wasn't great, but Liverpool won at Old Trafford 3-0, and I was in the Man U end, so it was Daniel Sturridge definitely scored.
You need to start changing your end every time
you
go
man.
Watch a home game.
Jinx, honestly.
The away team wins.
But I'd love to go to big derbies across the world.
The same. I went, not a derby, but to told you last season when I went to Dortmund to see the yellow wall, it was absolutely incredible.
I think that is amazing.
Incredible. Never seen anything like it. Just no space, like people just packed together. Big steep stand. I'm the same. I'd like to do the Boca one as well.
I got to Copenhagen at the weekend. We trip.
You want to go to the game?
And I wanted to go and see them play, but they play. It's like AGF Aarhus or something.
That's a derby.
It's 3.5 hours away though, and we get there.
No,
we get there.
Who's the Copenhagen? I thought they were.
We get there at 2 o'clock on the Sunday, and they're 3.5 hours away. 6 o'clock kick-off. We wouldn't get there in time. Till you arrive. But that was
my brother-in-law lives in Copenhagen.
Does he?
Aye.
Tell me to come for a pint. Go down a boat.
He would come for a pint.
Aye, no problem. But I would.
A few,
do you know the best atmosphere I played in? Or certainly one of them was Legia Warsaw. I'd love to go to their derby. I reckon theirs would be incredible.
And I'd love to go Turkey, mate. That looks
no,
crazy.
fuck that, man.
You go
I'd love to go there, mate.
Aye.
See what I say?
If somebody could just put you in the stadium and take you right out, aye. But all this stuff.
See when I went to this Legia Warsaw game, right? I say went to it, we were playing, I was on the bench so I could look at every single guy in the stand. But every single person was a 30-year-old, mid-30s, male, bald, like 25,000 Tommy Gravesons in the stadium, mate, I swear. And they just look, every one of them looked scary, man. I'm like, this kicks off here, I'm out here. That's
just
later there,
I think just even going to games, whether it's derbies or no, just see how they do things differently.
A
culture the whole build up to games and the, you know, what it means for a home game, just any home game.
I've been at an AC Inter. Have you? Incredible, mate.
No way.
Brilliant. So weird though. Like that half and half, like the way San Siro is.
Is that proper hatred?
I'd imagine it would be, but proper atmosphere. Like
sharing a stadium to me is, you know what?
Like getting rid of San Siro. That's
disgraceful.
Hate that.
Totally disgusting.
That's my favourite stadium I've ever been to. San Siro.
I've never been.
Have you?
Brilliant, man. Proper, like,
never been.
Just old school, like, iconic and brilliant. Gutted they're getting rid of it.
Mate, where's we shitty drums?
I can hear them. It's a bit splattery, but...
Right, amazing chat there. So, is it now, and I don't like to use this lightly, is it a must-win for Kettlewell?
This is miles better than it. He's a good host, isn't he?
What? 3 defeats now on the bounce.
Must win. Right, I take it back.
I'm going to kid on. I need the toilet just to get out of here.
No, I'm only kidding. It's a big game though, isn't it? Because the performances have been brilliant, but you don't want to sort of go on that run where but they have been great.
I know what you're saying, and it does come to a point where you can't keep saying they've played well, but it doesn't feel like that. You know, sometimes you go, 100%. Or they're playing well, but they just don't know how to get a win. They're playing really well. It's St Mirren, Rangers and Celtic.
No, 100% they've been brilliant.
And their performance, like I was at the game last week, they were excellent. They're lacking a threat as a striker. Theo Baer's up there, and he leads the line well, he holds it up, but he doesn't look like a goal threat. Wilkinson came off the bench, he's back. Obika's injured, and Beirut, the boy they got for Arsenal. So they're missing 3 strikers really. So you're always going to then, and Theo Baer was never got to be first choice. A good option, but he was never got to be first choice. So you're missing the biggest part of the team is they're struggling a wee bit to score goals. And once they get back, Motherwell will be absolutely
I mean, brilliant. We spoke, didn't we? I mean, I think it was at the start of the season about the other clubs outside Oldham challenging. Motherwell have been doing that, haven't they? Celtic and Rangers have been right up against them. It's been brilliant.
They're the best team we've played this year.
Are they?
Aye, I think so. I thought. I just think they've got an identity, but it's adaptable in certain games, and they know how to sort of get the best out of their group of players. But see when it's on, see the combination play between Slattery, Spittle, Lennon Miller, Payton, like they've played some very, very good stuff this year. And what you said is right in terms of you can't keep saying but it's not that feel, because I thought Hammy's Motherwell team was that. I thought his team played some good stuff, but it was just a case of never really knew how to pick up points. They went on a poor run of results, but they played some really good stuff. I think they've got that balance now, because Rangers game was a perfect example. There was periods of the game where the frustrated Rangers, they sat in, but when it was on to play, when it was on to press, when it was on to attack, I thought they'd done it brilliantly. In the Celtic game, I thought over the balance of play, Celtic probably deserved to edge it, but Motherwell were well in the game. and had some periods of really good stuff. Going into this game now, it's different. You probably expect them to have a lot more of the ball. Now it's on to the sort of the onus of the attacking players to go and win the game for them, basically. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the game. Livingston are now obviously in their best period now either. But I don't know, can I predict the results at the end of it? No.
Well, mate, so
Good on your Derek.
I wouldn't be surprised at a draw. I'm going to be honest. If I've got my Derek Ferguson hat on here, I'm saying could be a draw, but Motherwell are the best team we played this year, I think.
It's different because they're not at the start. I know at the start of the league, right? But it's not the first 3 games. They've got success results behind them. They're in a period where they just can't find that breakthrough. I think at the weekend, for me, they deserved at least a draw. They deserved a draw because there wasn't a lot of. I was doing the updates and I barely done anything because there wasn't a lot of big chances for either side. In fact, I'd say probably Spittle with the best chance, and it was a harder, an easier one. Sorry, than the one he scored. The goal he scored was
brilliant,
incredible because the temptation there's to smash it,
and to have a 1-2 in the box
with your centre half.
When there's,
you know how many people are looking at your centre half going, I'm not getting to him. He's just got to kick it out of the bar. It was brilliant. So they deserved. I think they deserved to get something. Deserved to get something out the Rangers game, and they deserve to get something at the St Mirren game. So I think it'll come. I think they'll get a win at the weekend. And once they get their players fit, that consistency is massive for them.
You spoke
the flexibility, as you say, in how they play. Because at times played with back 3, 2 wing backs, 2 sitters and two 10s, but they would go into the wide area, Spittle and Slattery. But at times Payton was the one making the run forward, and Lennon Miller was the one making the run forward. Just that flexibility within there, and they're all good football players. They'll take the ball, but they all put the shift in as well.
You spoke earlier as well about making players better. How many players that were there last year are in their best form in their Motherwell career? Spittle,
brilliant.
Stephen O'Donnell's been doing really well this year. McGabby's playing well. I really like Harry Payton. I think he's been under the radar because Lennon Miller has been a sensation at his age, came in, done really well. I think Harry Payton's been excellent as well.
Lennon Miller's a funny one, isn't it? Because you watch a game, when you're watching a young player, you can see they're young. You actually need to remind yourself he's just turned 17. Like the way he plays the game, the way he gets about the pitch.
That's scary.
You need to remind yourself, by the way, he's still a boy, but obviously in a man's body.
You listening in there? Oh, he muted it. That tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Is there a lot of moaning and groaning?
What's actually happening?
I think he's shaving that tash off, mate.
Hopefully. Love that, man.
Right, boys, on to the cootum. So, Sile just pick it off fair.
No, he's not here. It's a forfeit.
Forfeit, 0 points.
Aye, 0 points.
Brilliant.
Love it.
All right, here we go.
Mary the wing than him.
So he's sitting here. I bet he barely.
Honestly, he did.
Didn't he,
I don't even think he touched it.
I tell you what I'm doing right now.
Embarrassing, that wee guy, man.
I'm picking every opposite of what I think. So Derek Ferguson has to eat one of the wings at the end of the month. So I'll start off with Kilmarnock will beat Celtic.
Are you going to be in the Celtic end, aye?
Right, we'll start with Celtic Kilmarnock. Celtic home win.
Celtic.
I can't do that, Derek. Aye, Celtic.
Right, here we go.
I don't know, Derek. Go, you know what? I maybe go a wee draw.
Kyle Laffy's on a good run of form. Fuck him.
Dundee, Ross County. I'm going to go for a draw.
I'm going to go for Dundee.
I'm going to go for a draw as well.
Good. We'll go Livy Motherwell.
Motherwell.
Draw.
Never in doubt.
Motherwell for me. St Mirren Rangers.
I'm going to go Rangers.
I'm going to go Rangers. I love the shout.
Steve Davis effect.
Aye. I'm going to go for St Mirren.
No bad for Heidi. Right, here we go.
You're choked for another one of the wings, didn't you?
Aberdeen.
I'm not eating another one of the ones.
Aberdeen, St Johnstone.
You mean Buffalo one?
Aberdeen.
And last but not least.
Least.
Hearts against Hibs.
The Jambos. Hearts. Just in case you didn't know who the Jambos will be, man.
No.
I'm going to go for a draw.
You know who he's picking. He's bet against Hearts every week.
No. Just try to visualise what I can see
I don't know,
at the
he
end.
picked Rangers this week.
Try to visualise what I can see at the end.
It'd be interesting to see when Rangers play Hearts who he picks, won't it?
Draw.
Draw.
That's a refusal. You mean picking a result in that one?